Cooldown speed is the go-to stat for shorter ability cooldowns. But what if I told you it's not as simple as it seems? Many players believe stacking cooldown speed is the ultimate way to spam their skills. But the problem is, if you stack too much of it, you will start wasting valuable stats. So how much cooldown speed is too much? Let's find out. Let's start with the basics. Cooldown speed reduces the cooldowns of all of your 12 active abilities. This is clear for most players. However, many people assume that, for example, 50% cooldown speed means that your skills take half as long to refresh. For example, your AoE heal from the band, which has a base cooldown of 45 seconds, should drop to 22.5 seconds, right? Well, not in Throne and Liberty. Some games like New World or older versions of League of Legends use such a simple cooldown reduction system. While this is really intuitive, it becomes incredibly overpowered if you stack a lot of it. That's why these games often include hard caps on cooldown speed. For example, in the past for League of Legends, the cap was here 40 to 45%. Throne and Liberty, however, takes a slightly different approach. The percentage you see in-game isn't the actual cooldown reduction. If you hover over your cooldown speed, you will always see the real cooldown reduction. For example, I have here 20% cooldown speed in game, but my abilities are only reduced by about 17%. Now I could, for example, activate high focus here and gain additional 58% cooldown speed. So in total I would have 78% cooldown speed. But the actual cooldown reduction is only around 44%. And this difference happens because there's a formula which translates your in-game cooldown speed into the actual cooldown reduction, which is then applied to your skills. But let me give you a clear example of how this works. So 10 in-game cooldown speed translates to 9.1% actual cooldown reduction. 20% translates to 16.7%. And this goes then so on till we come to 100% cooldown speed, which gives us 50% actual cooldown reduction. Okay, so now let's take again our AoE heal here. The base cooldown is 45 seconds. The first 10 points of cooldown speed reduce our cooldowns by 4.1 seconds to 40.9. Now if we do this for all of our values up to 100 cooldown speed, we can clearly see that we get less and less value for every 10 points of cooldown speed. So the first 10 points provide a reduction of about 4 seconds, but from 40 to 50 we only get a reduction about 2 seconds. And of course it gets worse as you go higher. At the beginning you get a lot of value from cooldown speed, but as you stack more, the benefits decrease. Now, this is called diminishing returns. This is the exact same system and formula that League of Legends uses today. The reason why League changed it in Season 10 and Throne and Liberty is using it now, it's because it's much easier to balance. Okay, so we understood cooldown speed and its heavy diminishing returns. But now the question is, how much cooldown speed should you actually stack? Well, 20% cooldown speed is generally always valuable for everyone, regardless of your class, whether you're focusing on PvE or PvP. But how about more cooldown speed? This really depends on your playstyle, the content you're playing, and also the class you're playing. So it's not that easy to answer. But let me give you some tips on how to find out. In PvP, your strategy really depends on your goals. If you're trying to reduce the cooldown of one core ability, heavy stacking usually isn't worth it. Because the real power of cooldown speed comes from reducing the cooldowns of all your 12 active abilities. That's why builds where you spam all your abilities non-stop, going up to 40 or 50% cooldown speed can be really effective. But going beyond that rarely pays off due to the heavy diminishing returns. It's not that going for more cooldown speed is completely bad, but you could also invest in something else that gives you more overall value. That's why you should always consider what are you sacrificing to get that extra cooldown speed. But what about PvE builds, especially dungeons? In theory, cooldown speed should be amazing for most builds, because you are spamming your skills most of the time, right? Yes and no. Because the current PvE meta changes everything. Because most groups run with 3 to 5 bow players, which of course all play with Deadly Marker. And this reduces all cooldowns so crazy from everyone that stacking cooldown speed becomes unnecessary. You should only consider stacking cooldown speed if you're running constantly with non-meta group compositions. But trust me, there will be a point in the future when everyone will adapt to the meta, at least partially. Okay, so to remember, don't stack too much cooldown speed. It suffers from heavy diminishing returns. However, if your build focuses on spamming all your abilities, it can still be a great stat. But always ask yourself, what are you sacrificing for it? Okay, so that's all you need to know about cooldown speed. I have also similar videos for other stats in Throne Liberty, so if you want to learn something, check them out. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Thanks for watching and see ya in the next one.